Isn't it a bit deja vu? It's not long ago that we had all this preparation. Now, whose home has got your Christmas trees up already? Very enthusiastic. Who enjoys putting up your Christmas tree and not think of it as a chore? Still very enthusiastic right at the back there. I tell you a secret. Last year, I went to Tesco on the 22nd of December and bought a tree at £5. £5 only, is that good? So I usually delay mine, but anyway. Do you know a person goes through 3 stages in his life? I'm supposed to have this wonderful thing. Never mind. Just switch it off. Some technical issues. Everyone goes through 3 stages of your life. Stage 1, he believes in Santa Claus. Stage 2, he doesn't believe in Santa Claus. And stage 3, he is Santa Claus. It's such a fun time, isn't it? But it's also a time where different people, they have different ideas and different expectations. My colleague, she told me that for her, Christmas means eating her own body weight of chocolate and Brussels sprouts. She clearly loves Brussels sprouts. But what about you? What is your idea of Christmas? What do you want this Christmas? Now there was a little boy, he wanted a bike for his Christmas. So he got down on his knees and prayed for a bike. His birthday arrives, and no bike. Then he thought, don't worry, Christmas is just round the corner, I have a second chance. So he got down on his knees and prayed for a bike for Christmas. And then he thought, that's not going to work, is it? I prayed for a bike for birthday, and I got nothing. So he got up, he looked around his house, saw a statue of Mary on the top of a table. He had an idea. He took the statue down, wrapped it in a blanket, put it in a drawer, and he knelt down and prayed again. Now, Jesus, if you want to see your mother again, give me a bike. Now, I don't know whether you are the negotiating type, but there are some people who think they can negotiate with the creator of the universe. A friend of mine told me, she's a colleague of mine, she told me last year, why would you want to become a Christian now? She told me, I would stay as an atheist and do whatever I want to do until just before I die, I'll make a commitment then. You see, people have different ideas, don't they? I'm sure you have seen some or get involved in some nativity plays many times. Who's involved in nativity play or have seen some? Yeah, some of the children's school play, isn't it? Now, nativity play, for those who don't know, in case you don't know, is plays about the story of Christmas, isn't it? Yeah. Now, there was a school which had annual Christmas production of these nativity plays. And there was one little boy who was desperate to play the part of Joseph. And the day arrived when the teacher announced all the key roles, and this boy was not chosen to play Joseph. He was chosen to play the innkeeper. But he didn't want to play the innkeeper. He wanted to be Joseph. So the day arrived when the school presented the production to the entire school and all the families and friends who were there. And when Mary and Joseph arrived at the innkeeper's door, Joseph knocked on the door, knock, knock. And then the door opens. The innkeeper comes out. Joseph said his lines. Can my wife Mary and I, can we come in for the evening? The innkeeper said, she can come in, but you can't, because I want to be Joseph. You see, people have different ideas about Christmas. And because of that, it's always good just to maybe pause for a moment and think and go back to the original script. What did the Bible actually say about Christmas? The historical reason to celebrate, the only historical reason to celebrate Christmas is as the birthday of Jesus Christ. But nobody celebrates the birthday of a dead person, right? You only celebrate the birthday of someone who's alive. And it is because Christians believe and know that Jesus Christ is alive that there can truly be celebration on Christmas Day. Now just imagine, okay, all of you, think about it, if today is your birthday, all right, and you're having a party at your home. Okay, you invited a whole load of friends and family coming to your party. And the doorbell goes, and you open the door, your guests are all gathering there, holding their presents. And they all say, "It's your birthday!" And you say, "Yes, it's my birthday, come on in!" And they come inside your house and they say, "Wow, it's your birthday!" And you say, "Yes, it's my birthday, thank you for coming." And your guests all take their presents out, and guess what? They give them to one another. That would be very odd, wouldn't it? It's your birthday, giving presents to each other. The only true historical reason to celebrate Christmas is as the birthday of Jesus Christ. So we all buy presents and we give them to one another. Now, of course, some people, our culture means Christmas is a time when we give presents to one another. And I don't want to be the Scrooge and say, "No presents this year." No, I want presents too. Thank you very much. So I'm not going to argue about that. It's nice to receive presents for Christmas. But if you go back to the original script, we learned that there was a group of people known as the wise men. Now, have you ever wondered what would have happened had they been wise women? Ever thought about that? I tell you, if they were wise women, they would have asked for directions and arrived there on time. Now, I don't know if you know, actually the wise men arrived quite late. In the Bible it says so. At least, somebody estimate, at least 2 months after Jesus was born. Now, you don't know that, do you? They don't arrive at the same time as the shepherds. No. And had there been women, 3 wise women or several wise women, they would have bought some food, maybe Chinese takeaway, casserole, depending on where you're from. And they would have helped cleaning out the stables, or to help the delivery of the baby. And they would have brought far more practical presents. But the Bible actually says these wise men, they were wise men, and I want to say it's got nothing to do with their IQ, okay? It's nothing to do with their education. It's about, when we call them a wise man, it is about understanding. And they understood that when they arrived to where Jesus was, they bowed down and they worshipped him and gave him gifts. What are the gifts? The Bible mentioned gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, why would a child need those gifts instead of nappies and things? It's symbolic. Behind those symbols, there are profound truths. That's why these men were called wise. Gold in the Bible is the symbol of kingship. They knew Christ is the king, not just a king, but the king of all kings. And by giving gold to Jesus, they're acknowledging his kingship. And by bowing down and worshipping him, they're saying, "We want to come under your rule." And frankincense, is a symbol of prayer or communication. They understand that the king had come to communicate with his people. They acknowledge and show that they too want to communicate with this king. And myrrh in the Bible is a symbol of death or burial. They understood that the king had come to this world in order to give his life for us. Now, for us to truly appreciate and understand the relevance of these symbols, we've got to go back and look at the world where Jesus was born and the world where we are today. We all know there are problems in the world, don't we? Both in Jesus' time and also throughout the years and in our time. Problems between people, problems between countries and communities. And there are problems in every single level. We have politicians in every election, in their manifestos. They offer solutions to address those problems and issues, but not really addressing the cause of those problems. If you just address the symptoms, the problem will still be there. We need to tackle the root cause of what's going on and what's gone wrong in this world. The heart, somebody say, the heart of human problem is the problem of human heart. The problem is our heart. If you go back to the Bible, the word to describe our heart condition is sin. We've all had sinful hearts. Our relationships, our thoughts, our actions, they're all tainted and polluted. Our society and our community are all affected. And individually, we've all done things wrong, hurting other people, being dishonest. And we've all failed to do the things that we should be doing. We could have stood up for some people, for the voiceless, but we didn't want to do it. We could have been kind or more generous, but we didn't want to. Some people think we can do whatever we want, and it doesn't matter. But I want to say it does matter. It has the effect of disconnecting us from God. And all the wrongs that we've done works like an overdraft in our bank account. If you got an overdraft and I got an overdraft, you can't help me and I can't help you. The only one who can help us is someone who's got credit. And Jesus Christ is the only one in credit. That's why Jesus came to this world, to do something about your overdraft and my overdraft. Jesus Christ came into this world in order to rescue us from this problem, this dilemma we are all in. The gift of myrrh that the wise man brings symbolize the death of Jesus. And one of the things about Christmas is that we can get so preoccupied with the baby Jesus that we miss the point completely. Yes, the invisible God did make himself visible in Jesus. Yes, God became a human being, come to this world, but sometimes we leave him as a baby. We celebrate this baby Jesus in a pram all the time. If you go to Trafalgar Square, anyone been to Trafalgar Square? Yeah, in London? You go to, there is a Nelson's column, right? I have a PowerPoint in Nelson's column, but I can't click it. But imagine Nelson's column. You don't find Nelson in a pushchair, do you? To really understand the significance of Jesus' birth, you've got to move on and look at Jesus' life. And on the cross, Jesus Christ died and make it possible for us to be reconnected with God again. It is as if he was cashing a check signed in his own blood, saying, here is the check to clear your overdraft. And through the death and resurrection of Jesus, we can be saved from the condition we find ourselves in. And Jesus literally took on everything which had gone wrong in you and our lives. All the wrong thoughts, bad experience, bad things that we've done. And he took it upon himself, and as well as all the punishment that we deserve. He took it upon himself. And the Bible says, he became sin for us. And in exchange, Jesus gave us this life for those who accept him. A new hope and a future and a new life. This is the gift of Christmas. The gift of Christmas is Christ. He is the gift that God has given us. And the word Christmas has Christ in it, yeah? Christmas, the word, started with Christ. If you remove the word Christ from the word Christmas, you are left with M&S. Now, M&S is fine. I mean, I like the food. But it's not going to transform my life or your life. The gift of Christmas is Christ. We need to put Christ back into Christmas. Now, the choir is going to sing us a song in a minute called Would You Miss Christmas? Is it possible to miss Christmas? Do you know that back in the Bible when Jesus was born, the religious leaders in those days, they missed Christmas altogether? How would they miss it, you say? In the Old Testament of the Bible, there are over 300 prophecies telling us about the Messiah coming to earth, God coming to earth. They tell us how he's going to be born, where he's going to be born, where he will grow up, how he's going to die. It even has details about the number of coins that will be used to betray him. Do you know the percentage chance of over 300 prophecies being fulfilled in one single person? Do you know? Mathematician here? Some people calculated 1/84 with 100 zeros. I can't think. In other words, it doesn't happen every day, okay? That's rare. The religious leaders in Jesus' time, they not only know the Old Testament, they memorized it, and yet they missed it completely and didn't recognize who Jesus was. We may have gone to church or even baptized, and yet not truly know who Jesus is. King Harold missed it. Why? Because he couldn't humble himself to bow down to this king. Sometimes pride, arrogance prevented us from seeing who Jesus really is. Sometimes we do not want to admit that we're wrong and need help. The innkeeper, he missed it. Why? Because he was so preoccupied with his business. Many people today are preoccupied with their business, their work, their studies. Just one more rung on the ladder, one more climb up to the corporate ladder. And when we get to the top of the ladder, we may find that the ladder was leaning against the wrong building. And there are many people today caught up by the rat race of life. The problem with a rat race is, even if you win the race, you're still a rat. Many people who are preoccupied with things going on in their life, they miss the most important truth of all. You know, it's so easy to get caught up with all the things that we need to do over Christmas time, you know, wrapping the presents, the shopping, the cooking the turkey, and the endless shopping list. We can be so busy and totally miss the actual gift. And here is the thing. The real gift isn't under any tree at your home. The gift of Christmas is Jesus. And don't let all the busyness, the pride, the familiarity of this season, don't let all this make you miss out on him. If you've never thought about this or aren't sure what that means, we'd love to talk to you. Okay, we'd love to talk to you afterwards. Just come by. Okay, there will be some tea and coffee later. Just come by, grab some of the choir members or me. Just grab us and speak to us and ask questions. And we'll be delighted to talk to you. We're here for you. Now let's keep the celebration going. I know that you're looking forward to more songs, and it's time now to welcome the choir back to lead us into some amazing songs. But before that, let us just take a moment to pray, shall we? Dear God, thank you for knowing each one of us so personally. This Christmas, help us to hear your voice, see your gift, and truly understand what this season is all about. Amen.